simple. First thing you're supposed to do, calculate the years of growth pending, because this will decide what surgery are you going to perform for genu valgum. Years of growth pending we decide for boys, we take the age of 16 years. कि वो 16 years तक grow करते हैं. For girls, we take the age of 14 years. So this is the standard recommendation if you're going by the age. Otherwise, best method is Tanner's index. वो जो genital hair, facial hair, वो वाली staging होती है. But that is sometimes difficult for an orthopedic surgeon to perform, especially if your patient is a female, because genu valgum is slightly more common in the females. So sometimes you find it difficult to examine them by Tanner's index. So you can even go by age. 16 years तक boys grow कर रहे हैं, 14 years तक girls grow कर रही हैं. That is the standard take in genu valgum. Now you look at your patient's age, like he's 13 years of age, and you find just 1 to 2 years of growth is pending. So here you have to go with epiphysiodesis, fuse the growth plate. And yes, you have to do a medial epiphysiodesis, rather medial hemiepiphysiodesis. Just understand here, this patient has genu valgum. And why he has genu valgum? Because the medial side has grown too much, the lateral side has grown less. So you don't want the medial side to grow. So you fuse the growth plate of the medial side so that only the lateral side grows. And as the lateral side will grow, the knee would straighten itself. That is the purpose behind epiphysiodesis. So you can just run a reamer into the growth plate to destroy half of the growth plate on the medial side. That is what you're going to do when the growth pending is only 1 to 2 years. Now, when the amount of growth pending is more than 2 years, here also you do a medial hemiepiphysiodesis. Same thing, but this has to be reversible. Reversible means you fix this growth plate with staples. ये staples के साथ fix कर देते हो, and this staple can be taken out when you want the growth to resume. Okay, so reversible epiphysiodesis, hemiepiphysiodesis, when good amount of growth is pending, and a permanent hemiepiphysiodesis when just 1 to 2 years of growth is pending. And in reversible hemiepiphysiodesis, the golden thing, overcorrect. मतलब स्टेपल तब निकालना है जब हम करेक्शन को क्रॉस कर रहे हैं. Like this is genu valgum. When we are going to a femorotibial angle of 4 degree or 3 degree, then you should remove the staple, because what has been seen that there is a rebound of the deformity once you reverse the epiphysiodesis. So that is one important point for the practical scenario. And yes, when you're into this state, then you find the growth plates have fused. So now you cannot use the growth to modulate the deformity. So now this becomes the time for osteotomy. So osteotomy is to be done only after these ages, 14 years, 16 years, because now there is no growth plate that is fused. So you cannot use growth to tackle your deformity. And I don't think I even need to now mention that the osteotomy you are going to take up will be going through the distal femur, because valgum means femur will be deformed. Yes, you have to confirm it by that LDFA method. Okay. So what is indication for 8 plate? Here 8 plate is same as staples, same thing. Okay, it is also a reversible hemiepiphysiodesis. You can remove a plate. So 8 plate is nothing else. It is like this. So you have a hole here, you have a hole here, and that is where the growth plate goes. So staple and 8 plate is same. Okay, I've called it a staple. You can call it a 8 plate. Fine. Clear, Vishnu? Okay. So you will use that 8 plate in these ages. Okay, and in fact in this age, because that's a reversible epiphysiodesis, you can even use it for a permanent epiphysiodesis. Leave the plate there, don't remove it as a permanent hemiepiphysiodesis. But I hope you are clear when to treat genu valgum. Indication समझ आ गई है, age पता लग गई after the age of 6 years if it persists, और ये भी पता लग गया कि कैसे decide the amount of growth pending, which age group, then accordingly decide the treatment option, epiphysiodesis or osteotomy. परमानेंट रीमर, DHS रीमर, वो DHS करते हैं, वो रीमर ग्रोथ प्लेट पे चला दो, ग्रोथ प्लेट गॉन. Clear, Rajendra? So you can just damage the growth plate by any method. Some people just take a hammer and cut the growth plate, cure it and drop the growth plate. So you just have to like damage the growth plate. Okay, damage ki method not. So it's very easy to do a damage. Repair is the difficult job. Clear with the confusion, guys? So you can just write, okay, no fixation. No, you don't need a fixation for epiphysiodesis. You need a fixation in reversible epiphysiodesis, because when you want to reverse the epiphysiodesis, the fixation is to be reversed. A permanent epiphysiodesis needs no fixation. Perfect. Okay. So Let me also now brief you on this distal femoral osteotomy. What all techniques are available for you to choose in distal femoral osteotomy? ये भी मैं एक बार बता देता हूँ. Now, if you're choosing for a Femister method, exactly, Weber. So that the damaged part is the Femister method, I suppose. Okay, all right. So distal femoral osteotomy, there are many techniques available for you described in the literature. The conventional technique is that open or close wedge osteotomy, वो जो कहीं भी करते हैं. Okay, that is the conventional method. Like very simple. That this is genu valgum. So what you can do is you can cut and open up, like you can remove a wedge, like medially based wedge here, and then you can like straighten the bone by taking this tibia on this side. So this is closed wedge ki wedge ek bone ki nikal do aur fir use close kar do. Or the other way is like you open up a wedge. Okay, open up means you cut like this and then you twist the tibia on the other side, so this wedge will open up and this area you can fill with bone graft. That will be open wedge. Okay, so either of the osteotomies you can do. Rather, what I've done, I've tried to draw the open wedge here. Okay, and I have tried, no, I think I have tried to draw the open wedge here, and I have tried to draw the closed wedge here. So dono kar sakte, and I think that is a basic principle you understand. You can either close a wedge or open a wedge and fill with bone graft. So both osteotomies you can perform, but the side will change for open or closed wedge. If medial side pe karni hai, lateral side pe karni hai. Now, the golden thing to ask from my side to you, if you have to perform an osteotomy, closed or open wedge, should you be choosing closed wedge or should you be choosing open wedge? So guys, there's a chat box in front of you. Can I just have an idea from you guys? So what are you guys going to prefer, open wedge or closed wedge? Yes, open wedge. Okay, Arun says open wedge. Okay, Digvijay says closed wedge. Okay, okay, and anyone else? The third option will let me know the opinion of the house. 3 out of 2 win. Yes, anyone? Close wedge. Okay. Yeah, you are right. Kapil, you are absolutely right. Close for union and open for increasing length. Okay, Jay, you are right that if you do close wedge, you don't need to put bone graft. Union chances will be higher. Okay. If you want to go with the open wedge, you need graft. Okay. But limb length will be maintained. You will gain in limb length. Now, please understand the article by Blount. Blount is the major person who's worked on the knee. Now, what he has advised, if you read Tachian, he says that this is the one that should be preferred, closed wedge. He says that limb length is not an important criteria because 1 centimeter of change is maximum you get. Even if you don't give a heel raise, patient adjusts. 80 to 90% of the people naturally have a limb length discrepancy within 1 centimeter of each other. Now, what he says that if you go by closed wedge, you don't need a graft. Union chances are much better. Third thing he says that when you go with this open wedge, you tend to lose on corrections because graft tends to collapse. Correction में loss आ जाता है. So that is why Blount says closed wedge should be the goal. Okay, so this is what is written in Taglian by the name of Blount, that closed wedge should be the golden option. Open wedge should not be chosen. You will end up losing the correction in open wedge to some extent. So closed wedge should be the aim and slight overcorrection, as I've told you, because deformities tend to repeat themselves. So I hope you're clear which osteotomy you should choose out of the two. But none of the osteotomy is easy to perform here, because even in closed wedge you are losing length. Why discrepancy if you can even save length? So variations of the osteotomy have been there. A very nice variation is dome osteotomy. So I have just cut a dome like this, and now this becomes that rotatable joint. So now I can just twist this femur within this semicircle. So there will be no loss in length. You need a union will be good as well, because you don't have good fixation options for distal femoral osteotomy in children. Most of the people fix with just K wires. So good contact remains. Good contact remains. Good stability remains. The problem with dome osteotomy, quadriceps fibrosis. That is the main issue. So idea is very simple, that if you're cutting through this dome like this in a hemispherical manner, you have to take up the whole quadriceps from the surface of the femur. Pura rectus uthana padta. So fibrosis tends to occur, you sometimes tend to lose on the range of motion in the knee. I have a paper published on the same dome osteotomy. So what we have done, we fixed this osteotomy with adult Philo's plate. So with that, we mobilized the next day, we could gain better range of motion. But again, that theoretical disadvantage is there, the quadriceps fibrosis and decreased range of motion in case of dome osteotomy. Okay, the level of the osteotomy is very important. You decide at what point should you be cutting the bone in either of the femoral osteotomy by tracing the epiphyseal vessels. ये तुम्हें trace करनी होती है. And you have to be around 1 centimeter proximal to the epiphyseal vessels. So where the vessels are entering the growth plate, that area has to be first defined on your surgery. Then you have to be just around centimeter proximal, not more than that, within 1 centimeter of the epiphyseal vessels. That is the exact place to perform the osteotomy. The third osteotomy that is very popular with the examiners, जो वो जरूर जानना चाहते हैं और जिस तुम्हें क्वेश्चन करते हैं, that is something called a supracondylar V osteotomy. And this V is basically made in the coronal plane. This was described by Agleti et al. And it's a very favorite question of the examiners.